Hello and welcome to Mission Wellness's Stretch Series. We're glad to have you here. I'm Dr. Ryan Duran, and I look forward to helping you on your healing journey. Today we're going to be talking about low back stretches. These stretches are going to be great for both acute and chronic type pain in the low back. Our goal with these stretches is to create some healthy flexion, and what I mean by that is a more ergonomical way to stretch the lumbar spine with flexion, okay? And showing with this here lumbar spine model. There you go, Jen. There's your spine. Isn't that cool? All right. We see these yellow bits here coming out of the spine. That's nerves, okay? And our goal with these stretches is to create flexion of the lumbar spine, okay? And it's going to help take pressure off the nerves. You see as we create flexion there, the spine opens up, okay? Perfect. Good. Now, one of the most common stretches I hear people want to do when their low back is sore or tight is they want to bend over and touch their toes, okay? Unfortunately, that's not ergonomic, okay? Your entire torso is hinging at your lumbar spine, which is not great. So we're going to take that portion out of it while still creating that flexion that you instinctively want. So the first stretch we're going to show here today is the child's pose stretch. This is actually a yoga move. So for this one here, I'm going to have my lovely assistant Jen go ahead and on your hands and knees for me, my dear. Perfect. And this stretch here, what we're going to do is we're going to keep our hands in place. Don't let your hands move. And you're going to take and drop your bum down to your heels. Great. And also let your neck just fall. Excellent. And Jen's very, very good at these. You folks that are more acute or in a lot more pain may not be as good at this. Do not feel like you have to push yourself down to the heels. Let it fall naturally. Let gravity be your friend in this scenario. All these stretches I'm about to prescribe, I would prefer if you can do them for at least 30 seconds, if not more. This one, honestly, you might feel really good with. Jen, you can relax. And you might want to do this more often than not. And actually, this stretch is okay to do as much as you want. Now, the next portion that we'll work on here is the side lying posture, okay? And this is something, especially if you're acute, that you'll want to do, even potentially if you, even if you're not necessarily sleeping, you can actually do this while just resting, okay? So for this one here, I'm going to have Jen go ahead and let's have you lay on your side, and you can lay on this left side is fine. Perfect. Great. Now, first thing we want to do is we want to make sure we take care of this upper body here, and you want to make sure you sneak your shoulder out of this position, okay? And you can go ahead and do whatever's comfy with your arm now. But the goal here is the pressure is on her scapula as opposed to compressing the entire shoulder joint, which will transfer into the neck, okay? Obviously, make sure that you have a pillow here as well, supporting the neck, okay? But for the lower back here, and the reason I recommend this is you're going to go ahead and you're going to bring your legs up into the fetal position, 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee, okay? And then you're going to make sure that you go ahead and get a pillow here actually between your calves, okay? And this helps support the hips, the knees, as well as splits your feet, which will, especially for our female patients, will accommodate for the Q angle, okay? Taking some pressure again off that lumbar spine by as creating flexion in the lumbar spine. Whenever that hip comes up, okay, you actually, whenever the hip comes up, it's going to cause flexion of the spine. That hip attaches right here, your upper leg bone, creates flexion of the spine, okay? So her spine is in a flexed position now in the lumbar spine. This is what we call our standing hamstring stretch. Again, with all of our stretches, you're going to hold this one for at least 30 seconds. I will say, don't go too long on this one. It can be a little bit intense on your knee joints. And this is how you do it, okay? You're going to go ahead and you're going to find something that you can grab onto, okay? Because this stretch is going to require you forcing your weight back and down into your heels, pushing your butt back, okay? Avoid, when you first do this stretch, bending over, okay? This is not the stretch, okay? I can do this without hanging on, okay? The stretch requires you to hang on, okay? Because as you can see, I'm going to shift the weight all the way back and down into my heels. And and would fall backwards. Trust me, if I were to let go. Okay, and the way this stretch works is we're going and stretching the hamstrings, which attach into the bottom of your pelvis and sometimes can play tug of war with your low back musculature. And as you can tell, the hamstrings win every time. So this stretch is a really, again, ergonomical way to stretch out your low back and hamstrings without putting too much strain on your spine. Okay? Just like that. And you'll feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings. Okay? Again, discontinue if it makes you worse.